All right. Welcome, Fambalam. It feels like it has been a while since we've spoken. We'll get started probably in about 3 minutes, 4 minutes, but super exciting times around here. So stay tuned. What a track, non-fungible, wonderful, coming through with the goods from last year's Pride celebration. Very big welcome to everybody here today. Thank you for joining us. We are indeed celebrating Pride Month with what we are affectionately calling Pride 2 this time round. Now, joining us today will be Mr. Amar Singh, representing the Rewind Collective and obviously his own gallery. So while we wait for him to enter the space, or Amar, if you are here, maybe just request to speak and we will bring you on stage. But assuming that he'll be here in a few minutes, we can just round a few things off, and just so everybody knows, we will speak with Amar probably for the first 20 to 30 minutes, and then we will roll through some community updates, so just so people know what to expect as we go. We do have Noah behind the VeVe handle today and Skeet on stage to help us with some community questions when we get to that section. So just keep an eye out for that as well. But as I said, probably in about, I would say about half an hour, we'll probably start the regular VeVe updates. But in the meantime, if you haven't seen it, fam, the drop article is now live on the VeVe blog. So if anyone wants to head to medium.com/VeVe-collectibles for anybody new around here, the Givenchy Beauty and Rewind Collective Pride 2022 drop is out. Well, the article is out, I should say, and the drop does take place tomorrow at midday PT. And there are 3 pieces dropping there as well. But once Amar is with us, we can probably get some more details there. In the meantime, Noah, how are you, sir?
Great, how are you?
Yeah, doing well. Doing very well, my friend. Very excited to be once again supporting Le Mag Jean as well. A really incredible charity foundation in this space. And it looks like Alex has tuned in, even though he ditched me on this AMA. I can see that. But doesn't matter there. So anyway, fam, if anyone hasn't seen that article, please feel free to check it out. There is a bit of info in it, and obviously the drop details there. Quite limited runs on these ones, similar to the first edition of Pride, but I'm sure we'll get that story as we go. Now, Noah, have you heard from Amar by chance?
Not yet. We're still waiting on him for a minute. Hopefully I'll join in a few minutes here.
Yep. I'm sure we'll get him there. I would say we'll dive into a few community questions, but we'll probably
he's in now. I'll try letting him in.
Okay, beautiful. Yeah, if you want to bring him on stage.
Mar, if you can just request, that would make it easier to bring you up.
Yes. Perfect. I can see it there.
Hello everyone.
There we go. We have some sound. Welcome, Mr. Singh.
Pleasure to speak with you.
Thank you for being with us today. Massive welcome from ourselves on Team VeVe and obviously all the community. If everybody can throw up some emojis just to say hello. We are very happy to be speaking with you today. And really to be celebrating Pride Week together.
Absolutely.
We teamed up 12 months ago for this initiative, and I'd love to sort of dive into how things have been since then, really, and the impact that first drop had, and what we aim to achieve with this drop coming out tomorrow. So, I mean, first and foremost, maybe just a little bit of background from you, Amar, for anyone who may not have heard from you, and sort of your role in this community.
Yeah, absolutely. So I am a human rights activist focusing on LGBT rights and women's rights. I am the founder of Amar Studio, which is a global NFT art studio which focuses on curating, creating, and distributing NFTs with amazing partners such as VeVe. We've done phenomenal drops with VeVe, and I really admire the whole team and David tremendously. We at the company, and in terms of my mission, are very passionate about LGBT rights because now more than ever, it's a time, especially during Pride Month, to celebrate them. I was part of many campaigners who call for the legalization of homosexuality in India. Many people were involved in that, but seeing the legalization take place in 2018, it inspired me, and I conceived of my own case, and I'm leading now the Supreme Court case in India to abolish LGBT conversion therapy. So I am very much involved in LGBT rights.
And how is that case going, first and foremost?
Well, we're making some great progress. It's taken many years because I've been working on it since 2018, and it will change millions of people's lives if we can make it happen, and I'm very confident we will. We have two great human rights lawyers, and we're adding more, along with the very brave LGBT activist who's become our lead petitioner, Prince Manvindra Singh Gohil, a member of the royal family from Raj Pipla, and he was interviewed on Oprah Winfrey. He's a big admirer of what we're doing with VeVe. I spoke to him about it this week with the LVMH drop. And I'm confident we will win, and LGBT conversion therapy will be abolished. And this is what I want to link it back to your great questions, which is impact. What we do and what VeVe does is about impact. So, changing the LGBT conversion therapy laws in India, abolishing it at the Supreme Court level will change millions of people's lives. What we did in partnership with Givenchy Beauty and VeVe last year, it changed many people's lives across France. If you go on to Amar.studio, my company's website, you can see the amazing impact my partnership with VeVe had last year. It allowed the LGBT Foundation in France essentially to double in size. The foundation published and sent their impact report. They were able to move into a bigger center. They were able to recruit more people for their foundation. They were able to reach a wider audience of LGBT youth. And so this is really important because this is not just an NFT by one of the world's leading digital artists, Rewind Collective. Not only is it beautiful and with one of the world's largest brands, LVMH, but it genuinely is changing people's lives. And we're documenting that change, which is very important.
Couldn't agree more. I think one of the biggest issues with fundraising in general these days is that so little of the funds raised tend to make it into the hands of people that need it, right, and to have an impact. So obviously having the reports that you're putting out and a real measurable way to see that impact is just as important as raising those funds, I would argue. And obviously we are now raising again for Le Mag Jean.
Yes.
Do you want to maybe just give people a bit of background as to what they do as a foundation, aside from just the impact this can have?
So Mag Jean does a range of initiatives focused on LGBT rights. One of the key areas of their focus is LGBT youth. Now, I know VeVe has a lot of users all across the world, particularly in Europe, in the United States. LGBTQI, there's so many letters now that even I make mistakes. So please, for the members of the LGBT plus community, please forgive me if I miss a letter. I'm talking about anyone who identifies as part of the community. But youth are unfortunately the most susceptible to problems. The rates of suicide amongst LGBT youth are higher. Bullying amongst LGBT youth is higher, particularly in schools. That is simply due to ignorance. And so foundations like Mag Jean really rise up and help tackle these issues in a way which really leads to positive results. And that's one of the things that we do at Amar Studio. I know Rewind Collective does. I know VeVe does. Look at VeVe's incredible support for the Ukraine effort. They raised, I don't know the specific figure, but I know it was in excess of $600,000 for the Ukraine crisis. We all and it's one of the reasons we get on so well as partners and collaborators. We all focus on actually delivering results. Yes, sometimes things get delayed. We're all running, tech aspects, but at the end of the day, we always deliver, and we always deliver with results. That's the most important thing, because without the results, we're not getting anywhere, and we are consistent in that.
Yes, couldn't agree more. We're all aiming for the same things here, and it's interesting you say that. We all deliver with results, and you've obviously formed your own business around using NFTs and using these new technologies to have this impact. I mean, is there anything in particular that you see that NFTs can offer us that traditional fundraising, for example, couldn't, and how that is having a greater impact on these kind of initiatives?
I think the traditional fundraising, truthfully, as you pointed earlier, can go into thin air. We didn't know where a lot of grassroots donations to organizations who advertise on televisions. We've heard all the horror stories that these certain organizations have raised all this money, and then we don't know where the dollars go. That's why I was so thrilled to collaborate with Magjon, because they, from the beginning, said we are going to deliver impact reports. And lo and behold, they did. And those impact reports showed real change. The other issue with traditional fundraising is it can be quite stale. And that's the truth. And what we're doing here in this example is we've got one of the world's leading digital artists. And people have to remember, we're so early in NFTs. I just saw this morning, Keanu Reeves, even in this current market, has now formed an NFT partnership. We are so early in NFTs and digital art that the leaders in the market, such as Ron English, who's also on VeVe, Rewind Collective, and all the other names that we know, such as World Women, we're so early that these are going to be the market leaders as this industry continues to rise. Of course, there are going to be ups and downs. I don't think there's any market in the world where there isn't. But, I am proud and happy to see that in the case of Pride has remained consistently higher on the secondary market than the release price. And we're keeping the release price at the same amount this year because we do want that accessibility for people.
Yes, yeah. And you just said there, we're seeing the leaders in this space start to emerge, but really we're seeing them set the right example for how to use this technology to kind of have that impact. And as you mentioned, I think we mentioned earlier, we raised, I think it was 128,000 for the Magjon. I think Absolutely. You're correct that for the Ukraine relief, it was somewhere in the realm of $700,000 as well. And fundamentally, raising money like this or contributing to a cause like this, one has kind of been faceless traditionally, right? It's kind of you send some money somewhere and that's the last you hear or see of it. And two has been stale, as you said, right? Whereas NFTs, particularly with a platform like VeVe, I mean, they give us instant distribution across the world, but that gives us an instant audience across the world to really contribute to these causes as well, which obviously just has not existed before. And aside from that, then the contributor is also incentivized, right? They're getting a beautiful piece of work in return that has its own story and its own history to it. And maybe that's a great segue to dive into Rewind Collective a little bit. Do you want to maybe just give a bit of color there as to who Rewind Collective are, your involvement with them, how long you've been working together, all of those things?
So I've been working with Rewind Collective since I opened my gallery in 2016. It was a gallery, and it is a gallery dedicated, Amar Gallery, to championing historically overlooked and important female artists, along with members of the LGBT community and minorities. Rewind Collective, like many digital artists in the landscape, like Pack, are like Bored Apes until they recently took a huge fundraise from Silicon Valley VC. they are anonymous. They're a group of they're an anonymous feminist collective dedicated to, again, championing many of the same values that my gallery stands for, which is women, minorities, and underrepresented communities. Why are they anonymous? Because they allow and want the focus to be on their work rather than themselves as celebrities or famous artists, which often occurs. We see a lot of, in the traditional art world, famous artists becoming international celebrities, and they almost overpower their art in the end. Not always, but it does happen, and we all know that to be true. Rewind Collective are not the only anonymous feminist collective, incidentally, that I represent at the gallery. I also work closely with the Gorilla Girls, who are probably the OG feminist collective. They are a group of anonymous artists which formed over 3 decades ago, and I've done over 4 exhibitions with them all around the world, and I'm going to be doing their first NFT drop. Can't say more than that yet, but this is something that I find interesting, powerful, and a game changer, really.
Yes, couldn't agree more. So would you say that
Both of them always say I'm an honorary member of their collectives because of my my commitment as well, and I do this much like when I speak to the incredible David Yu about what drives him to do these initiatives. It's because we love it. When I speak to David about his and Dan, yeah, about VeVe's donation alongside me to LGBT rights, your incredible donation to Ukraine, David always says the same thing. He loves it. He wants to do it. I love it, and it's this shared vision of impact. And there's no point just creating this all for ourselves or for just those who can afford NFTs, because at the end of the day, there are many people who can't afford NFTs for $50 or $100. So we have to think about how these platforms and our NFT companies can unite to give back to society, which is exactly what Amar Studio is doing, VeVe's doing, LVMH with their NFT goals is doing.
Yes, yeah, couldn't agree more. And I mean, since we released Pride 1 12 months ago, have you seen the space change to lean more into that way of thinking?
Massively. And I'd like to say that we probably were very early, given how early we were, given how early we were in NFTs, all of us. Last year it released in June, Pride Month again. But obviously we started working all together months before that. So we're really at almost a year and a half point where, if you go back to a year and a half, a lot of companies didn't even know, what an NFT was. And I think we have been instrumental all together, the artists, Rewind, VeVe, Amar Studio, in helping shift and open up ideas to people to show that, look, this is a community which can be inclusive for women. This can be inclusive for LGBT communities and minorities.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. Couldn't agree more. And as you said, 12 months ago, 18 months ago, trying to explain an NFT to people was quite difficult. And now I really do think that these companies like ours are all starting to rise to the top because of the impact that they stand to make, right? And what we've done so far. So obviously tomorrow we're going to drop Pride 2, which we're affectionately named Pride 2. Do you want to maybe give some details as to how this piece came about? Obviously, it's representing the LGBT community, but is there anything in particular there that is worth mentioning from the piece itself?
Absolutely. So again, I think this goes back to how early we are in the space. We know, for example, that VeVe are building a metaverse. That metaverse is coming soon, but we're not. It's not released yet. Just like the biggest companies in the world, trillion-dollar companies haven't yet released their metaverses or their NFT products, and it just shows. But they're all working on them, and it shows you how early we are, and how that relates to a piece like this is the integrity of the piece, the artistic value. Imagine buying an artwork or a limited edition by a Renaissance artist. Rembrandt, even back in the day, used to sell etchings in the Dutch golden age of painting, and now obviously they have skyrocketed centuries later. But this piece is important because it not only is in partnership with literally one of the largest companies in the world, LVMH, but it's very detailed into how it was put together. These are original photographs taken by Rewind Collective that are then digitized and reworked. For this release, some of the images that are being teased, Rewind Collective have a series. They have different series of works, which is very typical for any leading artist or artist, in fact. One of their series is called Pixelated Heroes, and diamonds are part of that series. So here we see in a kind of nod to last year, similar characters, but embedded into their look, embedded with the pride flag, embedded with the trans flag, are these glistening diamonds, which are woven together with Givenchy's logo. And the logo is a salute to Givenchy's Prison Libra makeup, which was a iconic and is an iconic makeup range from Givenchy Beauty that was founded in 1989, and that's why the edition size tomorrow is 1989. So when you add up all those pieces together, and I noticed that we have nearly 1,000 people signed on to this Spaces, and I'm so honored that you're all listening here and listening to me. When you add all those details up together, that's pretty significant. And frankly, I've had museums contact me about acquiring a Pride piece, and they are looking at acquiring on VeVe a Pride 1 piece from the secondary market, and obviously a Pride 2 piece either from the primary or they're on the secondary. When you have museums looking at acquiring an NFT, that really kind of goes to show the importance of it. And given the fact we're so early, it's almost like basic maths. 1 + 1 equals 2. If museums are interested, it's for the same reasons we all know. It's because we've got the biggest companies and one of the biggest artists, and they've come together to create this beautiful work. And we are looking at different utility options. I know that's a question which a lot of the consumers are looking
probably get.
So yeah.
Yeah, agreed. And I mean, for museums to be requesting these things, it's truly capturing a moment in time, right, where these technologies have come to the forefront and can make that impact. So that's some great background there as well. So Fem, if you haven't seen it, there is a post pinned to the top of this space if you would like to go and check out that article and preview what is dropping at 12 p.m. tomorrow. Now, Amar, if you're up for it, we might just take a couple of questions from the community for you, and then we'll continue on with our general AMA. So, Fem, if you are requesting to speak and you have a question for Amar, I will bring you up. If you have a question for me specifically, maybe just remove your request for now, and we will get you back on stage a bit later, if that's okay. So, in the meantime, I will bring up a couple of people. As I said, please save your questions for me for later. But while we have Amar, we may as well say hello.
Hi.
Okay, so just as people are connecting, Marks, I'm not sure if you have a question for me or not. I think I might have added you as you tried to leave the stage. Is that right? Well, he might not be connected yet. In that case, NFT and around. If you have a question for Amar, feel free. You might be on mute there as well. It's Jeff, NFT and around, if you can hear me. Okay, maybe not. In the meantime, Tiffany, Tiffany Cole, the stage is yours if you would like to ask a question. Oh, looks like she got rugged. Isn't Twitter just fun?
I'll file one over for you from
oh, yep, go for it,
Jay.
Steve.
Yeah, Jay Tokes has a question there. First off, nice to speak with you, Amar. Really appreciate the work and efforts that you put in there.
Thank you.
Big fan of some of these pieces. Particularly, I was pounding rewind about the Harriet Tubmans. So yeah, really glad that we got those. Jay Tokes has asked the Queen Elizabeth painting. The Queen Elizabeth drop that we had, is that a painting? And if so, who was the painter, if possible?
You see, that's the remarkable thing. That is not a painting. That is a real life model shot by Rewind Collective and then embedded and digitized to make it look like a painting. Sometimes Rewind do take elements of paintings. So if you look at one of their one-of-one originals that was sold at Christie's in May of last year, where part of the proceeds in that sale went to Vital Voices, the women's empowerment charity founded by Hillary Clinton. If you look at that piece, it's called Remember Us 4, Watch Your Head. It sold for $150,000 US. It was a one-of-one, though. And they, Rewind Collective, reworked images by Gentileschi and Fede Galizia, these great female Renaissance artists who had been overlooked and underrepresented literally for centuries. So sometimes they borrow from existing artworks, which are from previous times. But in the case of Queen Elizabeth, that figure that you're looking at is actually a model shot by them. And that's, I think, the beauty of this, which is the layering of the work speaks to their kind of artistic skill and depth.
That's unreal. Yeah, it's incredible. Hopefully that answered that for him there. Skeet, did you have anything to follow up?
Just that one from Amar.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Amar, for that. Okay, guys, we might throw to Dave. I'm assuming you are on stage.
I am here. What's up, Reese? How are you?
Very well, sir.
Amar, bonjour. Comment vas-tu?
Ça va?
Très bien. Merci. So, Amar, if you don't mind, I feel like our community, like obviously, like we love the work, we love Rewind Collective, we love what you guys are doing. Can you give us a sense in terms of the actual secondary market, like you were just giving, but maybe in a little bit more detail, in terms of where are these pieces? Like, are these is this collection, right? Is this is exclusive to VeVe? Have you seen something like some of this, like similar work sell? And to what museums are actually inquiring? Just kind of give us a sense of the secondary market, because I think that'll definitely like hopefully drum up the demand and kind of raise the most money for you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. So in terms of museums that are interested, typically, museums, until they actually acquire, like to remain quite anonymous. But thankfully, I can share that a major museums such as the ICA Miami and the New Orleans Museum of Art, both in the United States, have expressed interest in Pride. Now, both of those museums have already acquired NFTs. In fact, the New Orleans Museum of Art has already acquired an NFT by Rewind Collective. And this is important to note that Rewind Collective are one of the few NFT artists in the world whose works are held in museum collections, multiple, in fact. National Gallery of South Africa and Foundation Median Ocheo in Spain. So multiple museums are acquiring this work. In terms of the secondary market, these are editions, but these are very special editions, which are exclusive to VeVe. And I can't speak to VeVe's particular plans about making things interchangeable with other platforms. However, what I can say, and as we all know, is all NFTs on VeVe are going to be part of their metaverse, and also other initiatives. So we are looking at in real life activations with around Pride, which VeVe holders would be included in events, parties, particularly as my own case gets more traction, I'm scheduled over the next month to go on national television in the United Kingdom to speak about LGBT rights and my Supreme Court case in India. And there'll be a whole range of events. There'll be both parties for VeVe holders and Pride holders to indulge in, but also more serious activations and seminars if members of the community and the Pride holders wish to learn or get more involved. It's not just about asking for more donations, not at all. It's about keeping up to date with the progress we're making, both in terms of the impact from this new drop, but also in terms of the wider LGBT rights work that myself, Rewind Collective, and all of us are doing together. And the last point I will say is, yes, in terms of beyond that secondary market, Rewind Collective does have a strong secondary market, but at the moment, only one-of-ones have been typically sold at auction. There was one, as I said, sold at Christie's in May last year, and one sold in June at Phillips Auction House, and that made over $200,000 for a one-of-one. So you can see that there's a lot of demand, and no one is reselling the one-of-ones. And it's good to see that the secondary market for Pride, even as global NFT and cryptocurrency markets are a little shaky, it is healthy, as it should be, because there's a lot more coming with Pride. There's a lot more coming.
Amazing. So I just want to sum that up. ICA in Miami, New Orleans Museum of Art. We are talking, once we become interoperable to be able to take things off, we will get massive utility if it's something that we do want. You will be part of the VeVe-verse, and the resale prices on the one-of-ones are in the six figures. Am I pretty much beautiful?
Yes,
Amar,
exactly.
merci beaucoup.
Thank you.
The hard man. Just to follow up there as well, outside of Rewind Collective specifically, are you seeing the demand for digital pieces increase in galleries around the world? Is that kind of transition underway now as well?
Massively. If you look at traditional galleries, they are switching to digital. They're building out NFT divisions. If you look at companies, major companies, I have the CEOs and owners. David knows this because a lot of them I'll be bringing to VeVe of major companies. They are calling me or calling David to do NFT partnerships, and some of the companies. I mean, we're talking some of the biggest in the world. Some of the companies that are other companies I'm working with. I mean, you don't get much bigger than LVMH, so it's probably not a surprise to anybody listening that there are other huge multi-billion-dollar companies who are joining forces with my NFT studio to create and team up with other artists I work with to create NFTs, and then team up with VeVe as a leading platform to distribute them and provide benefits and sell them to the community. But all these companies are interested in impact. They really are. And that's what we're seeing. But we're just scratching the surface. This is the thing. It's 2022. NFTs haven't exactly been widespread for around much longer. I also want to highlight something. Before we did the Pride release with VeVe, we have to rewind the clock, right? That month, I think we first started speaking, like nearly a year and a half ago. There was less than 5,000 members. There's millions of VeVe members now. If we just think about that, it just shows you how. We are just at the primitive and beginning stages, but we are all market leaders in our respective fields. And I say that because it's important that we are, because we are dedicated to impact, to helping the underrepresented, to making a positive change. So it is important for me to say VeVe is a market leader. Rewind Collective is a market leading artist. Of course, it's important to highlight that because those are the platforms, artists, NFT studios who need to be made even more aware of around the world, because they're the ones not only delivering quality digital collectibles and artwork, but they're actually changing the world in a small part along the way. But frankly, at the rate we keep going, it won't be a small way as we do more drops for charity. I mean, just in this conversation alone, we've spoken about over 7 figures VeVe between Pride and the Ukraine has donated. That's a huge figure. Most companies don't donate anything.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. And as you said, as we are all industry leaders, we have this opportunity to set the standard as to how this industry moves forward, but we also have a responsibility to set that standard in a way that really does continue to impact other people's lives. So really good points there. Laurie Brenner, you have been waiting patiently with the hand up. You have the stage.
That's okay. I'm used to waiting for Dave to finish. So Amar, first, thank you for carrying on the fight. Especially, I heard you mention a lot of the women's organization. I know just in the community recently, there's been a lot of discussion over the overturning of the Roe v. Wade and, the gateway into some of the removal of you know what I mean, plus rights. Have you heard, or has there been any stir, within the various communities that you work with women, etc., kind of expressing the need to, kind of fight up against this or rally against this, or
Absolutely. Thank you so much for your question. The overturning of Roe v. Wade is an absolute disgrace, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. My opinions obviously do not represent that of any of the other organizations I work with, but it is an absolute disgrace, and in my opinion. And ultimately, I think everyone who is championing the Pride NFTs agrees with me in saying that a group of powerful men should not be writing laws to suppress women's bodies. And similarly, a group of powerful men, mainly straight men around the world, should not be writing laws to suppress LGBT life and LGBT communities. So what we are seeing, and it's so remarkable that you mentioned this, because today I spoke to the incredible CEO of Standard Hotels, the remarkable female leader, Amber Asher, about this exact issue. And Standard Hotels, Amber and I are as passionate as the next person about reproductive rights and making sure that women's rights are protected. And we, keep your eyes peeled, might be doing something together to address this very issue, and to hopefully put some more funding back into women's hands, especially as even more trials and tribulations are faced by them with this horrific ruling at the Supreme Court.
Thank you. I look forward to what's coming out. Thank you.
Thanks, Lauren. Thanks for your question. Okay, we might throw to Miss Gecko, and then Archie, you can round us out, and then we'll continue on. So, Miss Gecko, you have the stage.
Hi, I just wanted to pop up just to say thank you to Amar, and that's it. That's all I have to say. Very emotional here today. We're here behind you, and we're going to keep this going. So thank you.
Thank you so much. That's so kind.
Thank you. Appreciate it. All right, Archie Agkis, you are the last one for the day, I think, and then we'll roll on.
Yeah, what's up, guys? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we've got you, mate.
All right, okay. Well, you pretty much covered everything. So I just want to say I'm a big fan of the Rewind collection.
Amazing.
Just a bit of insight on you said you might be seeing a bit of utilities. That you mean like the events and parties, or will we be seeing a bit of utility in VeVe app?
Well, as I mentioned earlier, and I think all of the VeVe community, which I'm a proud member of as well, obviously, knows the VeVe-verse is coming out. We already can see that VeVe has a presence at some of the international comic events. Recently, David, I believe, was in California representing VeVe at one of the comic festivals there. You will see, as the months progress, further utility, not only in terms of VeVe's wider development, but also, which was noted, interoperability. So it might occur to you, as it does to all of us, that these companies that we're talking about and we're working with, they're also building their metaverses, and I think it's fair to say that these are all companies who are working with us, supporting us. So of course they want a presence of these NFTs and interoperability both on their metaverses, and within those metaverses there'll be further digital benefits.
All right, thank you. Yeah, it's just because I feel like the Rewind collection is a bit like out. VeVe's market isn't really for it, so like taking it out of the market there, I think it would be much more beneficial for like holders.
There are a lot of fans, but of course VeVe is a market leader in a lot of collectibles such as Star Wars, Wonder Woman, but bringing in these aspects of fine digital art, it's not Rewind Collective are not only the only ones. There's Ron English, who teamed up with VeVe to raise funds for Ukraine, Patrick Hughes, and those collectibles on VeVe are very important because those are some of the first major digital artworks on the entire platform. So holding them, you can imagine in the future, as we re-examine the importance as museums, as we stated earlier, collecting digital art, we can begin to see the importance of those early fine digital artworks on VeVe having as this digital landscape evolves.
Okay, can I just ask one final question? I noticed about Givenchy making of metaverse. I'm not sure if that has anything to do with these NFTs that you've been released.
Well, I obviously, as you know, I do not work at Givenchy or VeVe. We're just all partners, so I can't comment on their metaverse initiatives other than what I genuinely know, and I probably know as much as you in regards to both VeVe's metaverse and Givenchy's. But it has been stated that all the organizations that have shared artworks and digital assets, they all want interoperability. Of course, why wouldn't they? It's more sharing, it's more of a community building, and that certainly is something that I know everybody has in alignment. But thank you so much for your questions, and I hope to meet you all in person at some point, whether it's at a Pride party, whether it's at an LGBT event, or whether it's at one of the VeVe events at Comic-Con or something. I really do hope to meet you all in person at some point.
Thank you guys.
Thanks mate. Thanks. Now I know I said we'd call that the last one, but Big Moa or humble_spread was rampantly throwing the hand up there, so I thought
I got here so late I didn't even get to catch the whole space, but I just wanted to ask if we can ever see VeVe NFTs on OpenSea.
Anything
That's
is
for you.
possible.
That's not for me.
Yeah, anything is possible, but we'll worry about that one a bit later. Yeah. And this space is being recorded, guys. So if anyone missed it or would like to share it afterwards, you can come back and listen to it as well. But on that note, I think we'll say a massive thank you to you, Amar, for being here today and for all of the work that you do in the space and supporting the LGBTQIA community. So big thanks from all of the fam. Where can people find you? What is the easiest way to stay in touch with you?
So I would encourage the VeVe fam to join Rewind Collective's Discord, because there's a lot of information even about VeVe drops there, and we're Rewind Collective and us are running a giveaway. So one of the VeVe users will get given a Pride 2 NFT from Rewind Collective's actual personal collection. So it'll be an artist edition NFT. So that's quite special. And then me personally, I'm on Instagram, Art Patron, and this is obviously my Twitter handle, Art Patron Amar. And feel free to comment and reach out whenever you want to.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you very much. You're welcome to stick around with us if you'd like to listen to the rest of our AMA, and otherwise I look forward to another conversation in the future. And just to reiterate there, guys, there is a post in the VeVe announcement channel with a link to Rewind Collective's Discord, and as Amar has just said, There's a very simple instruction in there. Simply join their general chat and post hello from VeVe to qualify to enter that giveaway there. So if you'd like to participate, thank you very much. And thank you, Amar. We might just reset the room for a second, team, and then we will get on with our regular AMA.
Great. Thanks so much, Reese, and it's been a great pleasure being here. Thank you so much, and take care.
Thanks,
you,
Amar.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. Cheers, bud.
Well, that was dope.
That was great, wasn't it? I think
yeah.
we still have a lot on the list, fan, to get to. So
Straight up.
may as well start with this.
Cash in, cash out, cash in, cash out, cash.
I could listen to that, the whole track, but I think it's the appropriate way to start this off. We will get to discussions of cash out and KYC and all the fun things, but let's just kick off with a few community updates in case anybody hasn't seen them recently. Since the last time we spoke, we've seen some very successful movie promotions go out on VeVe. As many of you would know, we did talk up the promo code feature in the app and the potential that would bring to VeVe and the users. So in the last 3 to 4 weeks, I think these things have all kind of gone live. We have seen that Jurassic World Dominion NFT partnership. So that was with AMC theaters in the US and UCI theaters in Italy and Germany. More recently, we have seen the Lightyear AMC giveaway as well. So that to participate in that, there was a trivia sweepstakes. Now, someone might be able to correct me, but I think it was just one question you had to answer about the film there to go into the running. But 1,000 of those were made available as prizes as well. And some of you may have seen this morning, I think it went out on Alex's Twitter space, and you've probably seen it in the app by now, but there is a Thor Love and Thunder poster taking place. Now, to participate in that, let me find it. Noah, do you want to maybe just pin that, the post from Alex's Twitter at the top here as well? But he has basically said, if you're in the US, I'm sorry for anyone who's not in the US, but these are location-based promotions, and you have the Cinemark Theatres app, you may want to check it out or download it and see if you can participate in that. But there will be some... that is a VeVe exclusive poster as well, as far as I'm aware. So some pretty exciting things taking place there, all of which obviously contribute to raising awareness of VeVe and introducing people to NFTs. And I think at this point we can probably all see that the future of merchandising is digital, right? All these companies are leaning into the space, and we now have the capabilities to support those initiatives. So all very exciting things there. I'm sure I'll get these questions later, but I will try to cover some of the most frequently asked questions that we see throughout the community on these kind of things. So we have a lot of people asking what happens to the unclaimed editions from the promo codes. So that fundamentally will be up to the licensors, right? And each of these promotions tends to be with a different licensor who may make a different choice. So for now, I think it's easier just to say nothing is happening with them. Some of these promotions are still live as well, guys. It's good to remember that, even though the claim date may have opened 2 or 3 weeks ago. Some of them are open for 30 days. Some of them are open for 60 days, things like that. So definitely still some time to redeem for some of these promotions. And past that point, it's up to the licensor what will take place. They may be burnt at some point in the future, or they may just reside in that wallet until the licensor has sort of decided what they would like to take place with them. And the second question we usually get is, will the edition sizes be updated to reflect if they are burnt or something like that? Now, we've spoken to this in the past. I don't know if we will necessarily change the edition size of the mint, or if we will add metadata to say, there was, for example, 10,000 minted, but only 1,000 in circulation, or in existence if they get burnt. So I think that will be the more likely case. But in both of those questions, it's basically just a sit and we'll wait and see once the licensors make that decision. So is that just before we move on from those, Dave or Skeet, have you guys seen any other questions relating to those promo codes that would be good to cover while we're here?
I actually do have one, if you don't mind, Skeet. In regard to those, I know that there are community members that have reached out to actually me personally and asked specifically about, I I remember the Spider-Man 130, which I think was the first one that you did that you guys did, where
Yes.
it was the 5,000, and then I forgot how many there were, but Alex had informed the community that they were in fact going to be burned. So is this going to supersede that decision? Right? It's just kind of in limbo as of right now?
If Alex had more knowledge on it than me at the time, then maybe that is the case, right? And that one would be more specifically a Marvel decision, whereas, Lightyear, if any of those were unclaimed, would be a different licensor, those kind of things. So fundamentally, it will come down to the individual licensor as to what and when happens with those NFTs. But as soon as we have info, we'll obviously pass it on.
Yep. So then I would recommend for future promos, maybe don't put like the end date on it, or maybe specify on the promo date that's just the promo date and maybe not the burn date, just to kind of keep it clear for everybody,
Yeah. I mean, there is no mention of a burn date on any of these things. It's usually a claim window. And then once everything is claimed and the dust settles, then licensors can decide what they would like to do with those things.
Got it. Appreciate it.
No problem. Skeet, anything to cover there while we are on this topic?
Not specifically for burns and that, no.
Perfect. All right, fantastic. We will move on. San Diego Comic-Con. Well, I think we've mentioned that we will be attending and part of this. Now, this is the first year since 2019 that Marvel Studios will return to San Diego Comic-Con, Hall H specifically, and we will be popping up at their booth this year. So every day during San Diego Comic-Con, we'll actually have 5 Marvel Con exclusive drops. So if you are attending, make sure you go and see the VeVe team. I think both Dan and David will be there. I might be wrong about that, but either way, the team will be there. And obviously, there are a few other giveaways as well. So a few lucky fans at the event can win an exclusive VeVe t-shirt bundle during Marvel's giveaway hour as well. So if you're attending, pay attention to those things when they're taking place at the event and drop in and say good day to the team. Obviously, really big news for us, being able to do this in collaboration with Marvel as well and be part of that. So exciting news there. Hopefully some of you are attending. Now, the news that everybody has been waiting on and talking about for months and months and months, our Q2 priorities, right? And look, I'm very happy to say that these things have progressed incredibly well over the past few months. So first and foremost, the web platform is now officially in public beta, right? And I want to emphasize that it is still in beta, but everybody should have access to the web platform now. I have seen some people with issues logging in to the web platform, and I guess the fix in the short term is to reset your password on the mobile app and then log in on the web. Now, before you try to re-log in on the web app, I would suggest a hard refresh or clear your cache, clear your cookies, just to make sure all of that goes through. If you're still facing issues after that, then I would open a support ticket. But fundamentally, everybody should have access to the public beta of the web app now. And coinciding with that, we obviously have our KYC, or Know Your Customer procedures, which, again, most people would be aware of, has been coming for quite a while and is now live. Now, that process, if you've ever submitted KYC documents for an exchange or anything like that, quite similar, but I would say that ours is probably easier and quicker to perform. I think it took probably 3 to 4 minutes for me to submit my documents and have that all go through. So the next wave of invites has gone out for people for KYC, and we will continue to increase that batch size over the next week or two until everybody has that KYC access. Now, if you have been asked to KYC, you should see a prompt the next time you log into the app, be it web platform or mobile. So if you don't see that prompt yet, it may just be that your username hasn't been invited yet. So just sit tight. But as a reminder, once you see that prompt, you have to KYC or you won't be able to participate in drops or any of those kind of things. So if you're seeing that prompt, make sure you get in and submit those documents. And probably another reminder to people, again, just to emphasize that the web platform is in beta, you may be better off participating in drops from your phone still. I think that's still the general advice that we are giving people until the developers have said, yep, we're all good to go and live there. Now, for anyone who doesn't really understand KYC or understand the process, there is a KYC article on the VeVe blog. It's just been updated. If you may have seen it quite a while ago, but it has just been updated with a bit of a walkthrough instructional video, and I'm sure we'll be sharing that out on all of our documents and social media platforms later. So take a look at that if you are unsure what KYC is. There are some frequently asked questions that get answered in there, but I will answer a few more of them now, some the ones that I've seen. So first and foremost, we get questions about people who are underage, effectively. VeVe was originally designed to be 13 years and up, but that was before we needed to implement KYC. So now that it is rolling out, VeVe is officially an 18-year and older app, right, to participate in, to be able to submit those KYC documents. We are working on 2 solutions at the moment. One for people who have multiple accounts. So there will be a way to combine those, I believe, but I'll wait for more details when those are ready, and basically to bring those under one KYC or one user. And we are also working on solutions for anyone who is under 18. I know a lot of people like to play VeVe with their kids, and it's a big family affair. So we will work on a way to effectively make that, to still allow that, whether it's parental consent or some other things. So please stay tuned for those, but just be aware that they are part of the plans at the moment. They are all being worked on. Skeet, while you're up here, have there been any questions, particularly around KYC, that anyone might be unsure of?
Yeah, there was a couple in relation to, we know we've put out that information will be coming for those that are obviously under the age of 18. And so that was raising a fair bit of concern. I think the manager literally specifically was asking for under 18 users what the situation is there. And the other side is for the amalgamation of accounts.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, so just those 2 things. So just to reiterate, we are working on solutions for both of those things. We know that people have multiple accounts, and we can bring those under one KYC or one identity is probably the more appropriate way to put that. And again, we are working on a solution for anyone who may be under 18, whether it's parental consent or something like that. So just stay tuned. As soon as we have more information on that front, we will provide it to you. But hopefully that covers that. Now, Payout. I think we may have, I think there's a community tattoo that needs to take place if Payout landed before the end of the quarter. I'm sure someone can tell me who was meant to get that. But those who have completed KYC and successfully meet the thresholds that we have for Payout will soon have access to actually be able to do that. Right now, I think we have internally tested this, and I think our first batch of invites has gone out to the public to also test it. Now, I think that was around 500 people, and same as the KYC, that will continue to roll out in batches as we make sure that those things are taking place. Now, similar to the KYC article, we will release a guide, effectively, or a bit of a what you need to know article about the payout. And that really summarizes everything that we have talked about over the past few months, and obviously some info that we've mentioned more recently. So first and foremost, you have to have completed KYC before you can process any sort of payout from the VeVe app. Now, there are a few thresholds. You have to have a minimum of 1,000 gem balance to qualify for a payout transaction. And there's a minimum withdrawal of 100 gems or 100 USD. Right? So if you are trying to do a payout and you have less than 1,000 gems in your wallet, or you're trying to withdraw less than that 100 gem amount, it probably won't populate the fields for you. Just important to be aware of there. Payouts will, in fiat currencies or in US dollars, happen via international bank transfer, right? Unless you're in the US, in which case I think it's just a ACH transfer. But you can also opt to withdraw to 4 different cryptocurrencies at the moment, which is USDT, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Binance USD. I think they're the options you have there as well. Processing times, look, we've kind of put out guidance to say that the bank transfers could take up to 2 weeks, and they absolutely could, depending on your financial institution. But generally speaking, they've been happening a lot quicker than that, so just something to be aware of there. The crypto ones, we're saying sort of 24 to 48 hours, but once they're approved and processed, I think you're actually just up against block times and network congestion. So although as a guide, we're saying it could take that amount of time, generally speaking, the ones I've seen have processed a lot quicker than that. But we will put all of this info into that article for you as well. I think the only other restriction to be aware of, and this probably won't apply to too many of us, the maximum withdrawal amount for now is 50,000 gems in any 7-day period. So if you're looking to withdraw large amounts, you can pull out 50,000 gems every 7 days from the day that you have access, effectively. The fees are still the same. There's a 10% payout transaction. Now, that happens regardless of whether it is a bank transfer or a crypto payout. So good to be aware of there. And your bank is likely to charge a fee as well, especially if you're living outside of the US. There tends to be a fee applied at both ends of the spectrum, so the payout bank and your incoming bank. You may also be charged a currency conversion if your bank account doesn't natively receive US dollars or whichever currency is chosen there as well. So good to be aware of. But if you are in the US, I think, as I mentioned, it uses ACH. I think those fees are only around $1 per transfer. So if you do have a US dollar account and you're withdrawing to that within the US, I think you'll get away with a pretty negligible fee on top of that. But other than that, they're rolling out. Batches of KYC and payout invites are rolling out, and I think we're expecting all users to have payout sort of by mid-July. So within the next few weeks, everybody should have access to that feature. Now, of course, fam, you don't need to run out and test it, right? You may want to just to prove to yourself that it's real. For whatever reason, people don't seem to believe us when these things go out. But you have that option there as well. And now that it's live, it will remain that way. So super exciting news for everybody. One massive win to check off the list. So if someone can please film whoever's getting that tattoo, I think it was of David Yu's head, if payout came out, please let me know. But Skeet, any questions there from the community or from the video voice chat there?
Yeah, there's one in relation to the fee that I know you've just briefly touched on. So we've had like Green Gobbler and the Lord's Warrior just wanting to check. Is that going to be a permanent fixture, or is it something that may be revised over time? Is it an introductory one, or? Yeah,
it will be revised, I think. Yeah, the whole point, well, not the whole point, but it is definitely a balancing mechanism based on the 30% that app stores take from us and all of those things. And as a very new integration, we definitely need to monitor how this actually progresses and how many people are utilizing the feature, how many people are going to crypto, all of those things. So that fee is definitely up for revision, and we definitely want to bring that down over time.
Brilliant, much appreciated.
Yeah. Any other things there to cover before we whip through that? No, I think we're good there. Okay, and before we take some questions on that front, I'll do just a couple of Ecomi updates too. But just so people are aware, there are no drops this weekend, and that is so that we do have the bandwidth and all the resources to roll out. To continue to monitor the web platform performance, and then to continue to roll out KYC and payout features to all users. So we have the Givenchy drop tomorrow. I think we have a couple of other drops as well. We've got a comic taking place on Thursday, and then I don't think we have a drop until early next week. So just be aware that everybody has the weekend off. We can unwind and de-stress a little bit on that front and enjoy the rollout of these features. Noah, if you want to add a few speakers to the stage, it looks like we might already have a couple anyway. And I'll just briefly touch on a few Ecomi updates and then we can get into a bit of a conversation. So first and foremost, I think people have been seeing the staking rate come down on Ascendex for anyone staking their tokens on Ascendex. I just want to make very clear that has nothing to do with us, right? There was an entirely sponsored initiative by Ascendex. We didn't contribute tokens there. We were happy to offer it to the community and help out with that initiative, but their decision to lower that rate is entirely theirs. Personally, I think in these market conditions, everybody can probably understand why, right? Everyone's kind of batting down the hatches, as they say. So, as that rate reduces, it's completely up to you if you want to continue to participate in staking. I think most people at this stage have probably decided to keep most of their crypto on cold storage wallets, especially after what we've seen across the industry with 3AC and Celsius and all those things. So as always, I would strongly recommend cold storage for any of your long-term crypto storages. Now, last week, if you missed it, we did an AMA with Mr. Brock McBlockchain, founder of the Features project. Now, you can find all of those details. The Features announcement is on the Ecomi blog. You can go back and listen to that recording as well to learn more about the play-to-burn and play-to-earn mechanics of the Feature arena. And really just to get to know Brock a little bit, understand more about the project. If you're interested, you can join that community. I'm personally part of it. I know that a lot of the fam is. But super exciting, really fun way to interact with NFTs and play with those there as well. But now that I can take a breath, I think that summarizes all of our main updates. A lot of exciting things going on, but maybe we'll take some questions from the crowd. Mr. Foster Hilt, how are you, sir?
I'm good, thank you, sir, and thank you for putting on this event. I'm excited for the Givenchy drop that's coming, and obviously a very exciting update. I see we got quite a few people in the chat right now, which is great, but I just wanted to kind of give a perspective that maybe you can't offer, but I can because I don't work for Ecomi. But
Have at it.
for those people that may or may not be aware, because I know there was quite a bit of FUD going around for quite a while that MTL beta testers did not exist, cash out was not real, and the team just continues to string us along. I just wanted to confirm and have actually just released a video in the last 30 minutes that I actually was fortunate and got access to cash out. Now, I understand that it's random and whatever, so I don't know that I have anyone to thank necessarily, but I am very grateful because it allowed me to make content associated with cash out. And I just wanted to mention a couple things about cash out because I think you were being very modest when you were referring to the time frames that you gave. I have done 2 successful cash outs now, one in USDT and the other in Bitcoin. The USDT transaction from the moment that I clicked withdraw took 5 minutes to hit my account, and the Bitcoin withdrawal took 20 minutes. So we're essentially, I mean, given, network congestion and stuff may slow it down, like you said, but I mean, the fact that we are essentially instantaneously receiving our funds at this point is just absolutely incredible. The process and the way that it's laid out, I stretched it out in my video just because I felt like talking, but it takes maybe 3 to 4 minutes to do the entire cash out process from beginning to end, and essentially entirely foolproof, and it's very exciting. The one question I do have for you that I wasn't sure about when I was doing cash out, but it appears to be only ERC20 backed tokens that are supported for withdrawal. Are you able to confirm that? Because when I tried to withdraw with USDT TRC20, it said that it was an invalid address, but it did accept my ERC20 address.
Yeah, I think that's probably pretty valid to say at the moment. I would assume that it's all happening on the Ethereum blockchain. Did you say you did a Bitcoin withdrawal
that's
as
what
well?
I thought as well.
Yeah. Sorry, Foster, did you say you withdrew to Bitcoin as well, or just to USDT?
Yes. So I withdrew to Bitcoin as well, but I also used the ERC20 address for Bitcoin and was able to do so. So it seems to me that those are the ones that are working. But obviously, people may have questions about fees associated because obviously ERC also has fees, which may be contributing to the cost to cash out. So it's just an important point for people to be aware of.
And so just to clarify then, the Bitcoin you received is actually wrapped Bitcoin on Ethereum. Is that correct?
Yes, I believe so. That's how it shows up on my Ascendex account.
Okay.
As ERC20 Bitcoin, yes.
It's ERC20 Bitcoin, yes. So it must be wrapped Bitcoin supported. Okay, fantastic. Good to know. Congratulations on processing one of the first public payout transactions. We're here, fam. We made it. It's there. Payout is live.
It is. It most definitely is. And I look forward to everyone else getting access to it as well, because I know there's still to this day bets going around in the community that Payout either doesn't exist at all or that it won't be here for everyone by the end of the year. And I'm just looking forward to it with a smile on my face at this point. So
Fantastic. Thanks, man. I look forward to watching the video that you've put out. If anyone wants to check that out, you can probably, I'm assuming it's on your profile, Foster?
yes, sir. And I shared a link with you as well in your message.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. We really appreciate it. If anyone else does have access to Payout and wants to make some content around it, any instructional videos, feel free. Now that you have access and it is out, the more people through the process, the better. So appreciate that, Foster. Okay, we look like we've got a few on stage. Some we had before, but we'll run through them and then we'll bring more up. Miss Gecko, welcome back.
I knew you were going to say that. What is she doing here again? Okay, so I actually have something to say this time. Okay, so I logged into, the first thing I want to say was I want to give a shout out to the support. I tried logging into the web app yesterday. They got back to me within 5 minutes, like literally 5 minutes. So what was happening for me was when I was attempting to log in on the web app, when I entered my code and clicked on confirm, I would just keep clicking and the button wouldn't work. GrabFlow informed me that if you're logged in on your mobile, you cannot log into the web app. So that is exactly what happened to me. So when I logged out of my mobile, I was able to get into the web app, no problem. And I also needed to use the web app in guest mode in Chrome. So, of course, in my regular browsing, I have a lot of, different things attached to my browser. So that was affecting how I was logging in as well. So I just wanted to share that because, like I said, Grebs, saved me a whole lot of heartache. And I did let the support team know as well, because it's probably going to be a very common issue. And I was getting panicked because there was a drop, of course. So I don't want anyone else to go into panic mode. So the web app is amazing. I was just saying actually yesterday in a space, I think it was yesterday, that I would love to have when I, put up a photo with one of my VeVe NFTs, I'd like to have the link so someone can click on it so they can go buy it. Now with the web app, I'm going to be able to do that. So very, very exciting.
Very exciting. Thank you for that. Yeah, I agree. I think we'll compile a list of these little solutions and things to be aware of, just to make it easier for everybody there as well. And maybe someone can confirm this for me. Foster, I was just looking at your profile and you can now look up and follow other users on the web app. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. Shout out to Bravos Assassin, who actually tagged me on Twitter this morning and made me aware. But you can essentially generate a link with your public profile, and essentially someone can click on it and it directs you directly to their page, and then you can follow them and they can follow you, and it's just done based on your QR code on your profile. And if you scan that, it gives you a link, and you can share that with the community, and everyone can start following one another. It's fantastic.
That's great. We'll see them in everybody's Twitter handles by the end of the day, I think. Which is just another great feature there as well. Massive shout out, as was just said, to the support team for their tireless hours. And while we're here, a huge shout out to the development team. Those guys have literally been working around the clock to get this done before the end of the quarter, and now to be able to roll that out. And as we all know, the Payout and KYC is such a huge pillar of what we're building, and now we're really set up for the future of this. So great news all around. Okay. Archie, welcome back.
Hello, guys.
How are you, mate?
I heard there is new option for Alex Ref to make MTL gems to Drax.
Gems?
Is this true? I saw his picture on Twitter and he looked like he's cocked up.
Thanks, man. Really appreciate that question. And no, that is not a current feature. Thank you very much. All right, let's bring up a few more. Never a dull day, fam. All right. Big Mua, if you're up here, you have the stage.
Man, I'm just listening, enjoying the conversation. I've been part of the VeVe community for a while now. I have nothing but golden moments. I feel like I might just hold those forever. I'm in love with my statue, by the way, and I might just do exactly what you mentioned. I might just try the cash out method and might not even cash out anything just to see if it works.
Yep. Yeah, I think that's what we'll see a bit of. Right? Everyone wanted it, and now that it's here, we'll probably just buy collectibles instead.
Yeah,
that's the
I
way
feel
it
like
tends to go.
yeah, definitely. But yeah,
Yeah.
besides that,
Okay.
I'm just vibing, man. It's feeling real positive in here today. Love it.
Perfect, mate. Perfect. I might just remove you from the stage so we can bring some other people up.
No
But thank
problem.
you for all the support. Okay. Casey Carl.
Yo, what's going on, guys, man? First of all, thank you guys so much for everything you guys just did. You guys just silenced a lot of people. I'm so pumped up. I'm seriously so excited, man. Thank you guys. You guys are about to change a lot of lives. I do have a question. Question is, when can I buy with Bitcoin or Ethereum the same thing that we can cash out with?
Oh, that's a question for after all of this is done.
Oh, man, come on, baby. Oh, you know it.
You can add that to the list of whens for later in the year.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I want to hear, boys. Yes, let's go.
It's a good one. It's a good question.
Thank you guys so much, man.
No worries, mate. No
Thank you,
worries.
guys.
Appreciate it. Thanks, man. Okay. OMWTFYB. I never know how to pronounce this. Mr. VeVe Addict, how are you?
Hey, what's going on, Reese? I don't know if you can hear me, but you can call me On My Way.
On my way. Okay, fantastic.
So, again, thank you, everyone who works at VeVe, everyone who believes in VeVe through these, months. But you guys have done a phenomenal job keeping the community in par, still happy with drops and other little things that will keep you motivated while you guys worked on these big ticket items. I know it was a big push, especially to get it done by the end of Q2. So hats off to you guys. Really appreciate you all.
Thanks, man. We really appreciate it, and we really appreciate everybody's patience, everybody's participation. You know, these things all happen collectively, so massive shout out to the fam as well.
And thank you, appreciate that. Last question. I know that we're rounding out to the end of Q2. Just curious, do you guys have any things that might be at the top of the list for Q3 moving forward?
Yeah. I'm sure that there are some pretty big ticket priorities there. Obviously, everybody's waiting on the OUP and our tokenomics sort of refresher and all that information to come out. So that's definitely been on my list for a while and is probably the next major thing I'd like to be talking about anyway. On the development front, I will probably have to get a few more updates really from Dan and see what's next on the list there. But as you can see, you know, with that, the ability to share links to your profile and those things, the web app now gives us a chance to create something a bit more robust and really start to build in more of those social features. Now, as to which ones or whether the list of priorities is there, I won't speak out of turn. I'll wait until we have an actual update there. But I would think in a couple of weeks' time we'll have another founders update, and I'll see if I can get Dan to lay out the next priorities for everyone as well.
Appreciate that, man. I'm going to step down. Amazing work, everyone. Amazing work, Amar, who stopped by. I'll talk to you guys soon.
Thanks, man. Have a great day. Austin, welcome. How are you?
Hey, how's it going, Reese? How's it
Good.
going? Yo, I just want to say this has been amazing. I'm excited. Like, I'm ecstatic that I can talk to my family and, like, they can believe that there's a cash out now. I'm not this crazy person buying these images online.
Yep.
So that's exciting. My curious question, though, is why didn't VeVe allow us to cash out in OMI?
Our payout provider does not support OMI.
Gotcha.
Pretty much the simplest one. Yeah. So I guess we use these terms interchangeably. We could say cash out to OMI or OMI to NFT. That effectively is your cash out to OMI. So once that's kind of live, you have that option there. But fundamentally, I think creating these, the payout as it is and with the tokens that are selected, they're obviously large caps. They are offered by the payment provider, but really what that does is remove any possible sell pressure on OMI as well, while those features are being built. So I think it gives people a lot of options in the meantime, but doesn't place any negative pressure on the OMI token until we can implement ways to really positively benefit that token.
Awesome, great. I have like 100 questions, but they're all secret questions, so I'll keep it to myself.
Never a stupid question, mate. Never a stupid question.
All right, here's a silly question, if I can ask. You said that like for the VeVeverse, it's just gonna roll out like through the community. There's no gonna be like advertising or marketing regarding the VeVeverse. Is that correct? Still?
No, I don't think. That's a good question. If you're thinking like broad public marketing, same as VeVe, I wouldn't expect any of that to happen until some of the core features of the VeVeverse are in place, until the beta is fully done and tested. Mm-hmm. So yeah, in a similar way, I suppose the community will be the first to get it and to try it out and test it. And then we'll look to expand that.
Awesome. Thank you for everything. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it, mate. Thank you. Okay, Skeet, I might throw to you if you've got any questions there, and otherwise I'll bring up a few more of the fan.
No, the only last one that kind of was just a little bit in terms of like priorities Q3 and such is the interoperability question and VeVeverse question. But like I said, I think this kind of needs to get handled first, and by mid-July, then the next set.
Yeah, exactly right, and then we'll be able to do those kind of things as well. So we'll get to those. Okay. In the meantime, Crypto Kaki, how are you, brother?
Hey, what's going on, man? I appreciate you bringing me up. I think I'm gonna speak for a few of us in the league. I don't think I'm trying to get excited for today, but a lot of us that have been, championing with this team is about what y'all have done, what y'all have proven so far. This was something that we always knew was going to happen. And so it's not really that exciting for me because it doesn't do one thing one way or the other for me because I'm not pulling out any money. I don't like you guys anymore now that you've hit on this MTL finally. It doesn't take away from the great things that y'all have already accomplished. So my hat's off to y'all for pushing through it and not being wavered by it one bit. That's what's more impressive than MTL is that you guys come with that same energy from 2020 interviews when you was interviewing Dan. It's the same interview. It's the same interview. It's the same energy. It's the same excitement. And so for me, my kudos to you guys and the team is never having that wavering, because it's contagious with the community, man. So hats off to that. Yeah, I'm glad that some people do have the opportunity to pull out of MTL, but I just wanted to hop up and speak to give my shout out to you guys for what y'all have done up to this point, as opposed, because I guess I am excited a little bit, but a lot of us already knew what it was. So I guess my question would be, now that the resources have been kind of freed up from web, because these are two major milestones that you guys have kind of knocked out, and I know that has freed up a lot of resources. What is the next big project within the app that you guys or the team are planning on tackling? Like, what is the number one focus at this point right now, or is that something that's kind of still kind of in debate, or you just kind of evenly spread yourself out now that y'all have tackled those two major obstacles?
I mean, first and foremost, thank you for all the support and for always being part of the fam and showing us that support. It truly means a lot, and it helps us maintain this energy as we go through and roll out these developments. Now, in terms of the next priority, obviously, we'll continue to build out the web platform. I might be speaking out of turn here, and I do see that Mr. David Yu is on stage, but I think in terms of VeVe developments, the MCP is probably going to be one of the next major rollouts, or at least the initial stages of that.
That's the fucking answer that I was looking for. I'm not even going to lie. I was trying to go a roundabout way of asking it, but that's what I'm here for. So I appreciate that answer right there. Hell yeah. I can step down now. Hell yeah.
All right, no worries, mate. Have a good day. Over there, Mr. David Yu, welcome to the show.
Hey everyone, how are you?
Very well, very well. Someone's just got a hot mic there. Oh, there we go. That's better.
Yeah,
David, how are you, sir?
Oh, good. thanks for putting this together. We just got our meeting, so I thought I'd join in, listen in what's happening.
Who did you meet with?
We were at, well, I can say where we were.
Oh, you can? Okay.
No secret. We were with one of our partners at Universal Studio, who's been a quite important part of our early stage of success, and just really, streamlining what's happening in Q3, 4, and obviously for the whole next year slate, with new films coming and collectibles and new ways to level up for us and for our fans as well.
Super exciting news. And you're in the States at the moment. Obviously, we have San Diego Comic-Con coming up soon and all of those things. You'll be in attendance, is that correct?
Yes. At this stage, yes. We're without any, COVID delay in travel. I mean, it is always part of our. We aim to be as many physical events as we can for this year. It's really part of our 2022 getting physical, expos, getting sign-ups, the mass market adoptions, and we continue to be on track right now. So, looking forward to see a lot of our fans, and we got a lot of great. Hopefully, we have a lot of great con exclusive coming up. We're just waiting for our key partners to get these things signed off.
Yep. And we have just kind of mentioned that we will be popping up with the Marvel booth there. Now, I personally have never attended one of the US Comic-Cons, but maybe from a collector's point of view, do you want to just give a bit of detail as to why these events are so big in the industry and how long the impact they have on your collecting in particular?
Yeah, I mean, number one is the melting pot of the fandom, the ultimate fandom experience. Obviously, when you go to one of these conventions, you meet people whose mind alike. You might not even know them or come to path with them ever before, but 5-10 minute talking to any fans at Comic-Con, you meet new friends and you guys have same interests. It's really a key part of how these franchise and studio build their audience. And number two is just all the exclusive event items and meeting the artists who created these characters that you're connected with. There's panels out there. I mean, I remember lining up for panels and never got through because there's just so many people. You're talking tens and tens of thousands of people trying to participate. And it's really just about staying alert and being alerted what's coming out, what's happening. So and you just meet every type of artist, every type of distributors, bringing out promo, seeing their lineup of toys, they're exclusive. It's just unbelievable.
Yeah,
definitely. If you haven't experienced a Comic-Con experience, or I think a couple of weeks ago or a few weeks back, we were at the Star Wars celebration, and it was similar. You had 20,000-30,000 people going in and out of a whole, part of that whole experience is amazing.
Yeah, I think Dan has mentioned to me in the past that you're quite adept at sneaking into the line to get in to see whoever he needs to see.
It works sometimes. The line just gets so crazy. And I mean, trying to be in front of everyone just to get a chance to purchase something. It's an experience itself. But I think this year is going to be great. It's the first time that, and I think Marvel has announced that Marvel Studio will be at the Comic-Con as well a few days ago. So we're looking forward to it.
Yeah, it should be a super exciting event, and I guess from these sort of events, the ideas for VeVe were kind of born and created, right, to really digitize that industry, that passionate fan base. Is there anyone? Oh yeah, sorry. Go.
Yeah, and I think you mentioned we are going to be at the Marvel stand, which is one of the key feature pavilion. It's pretty much in the centerpiece of the whole Comic-Con, and being picked by Marvel to represent, us there is just amazing experience on its own. We are still a new startup. You're talking normally activation in this scale is for a company who is very mature, who's bringing in, who's become really a key partner of this, and we're just so humbled to be there this year. And it is our FA real life in Comic-Con, and hopefully we'll be bringing some really cool stuff as well with it.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of things to be excited about there for anyone attending, and I think most importantly, people will want to know: will you be in cosplay?
Oh yeah, I will be dressing up. I'll be dressing up as David Yu.
Okay, great. I think other people will be too.
So you be you.
You be you.
I'll be you.
Good stuff. Well, thanks for being with us, David. I might we'll take a few more questions from the fam as well, just to make sure that we cover all bases there. But feel free to chime in whenever you'd like as well. So, O'Milly, how are you, mate?
Hey, Reese, long time, bro.
Has been a while.
Good. What's up, everyone? I just had a quick question, but first I wanted to just say shout out to all the YouTubers. I see a couple up here. Shout out to all the VV fam in the crowd. Shout out to all the Spaces fam. It's pretty cool to, like what Austin was saying. It's pretty cool to be able to tell your family, like, that crazy thing I was telling you about where you called me an idiot because I couldn't take any money out, and for us it's not even about taking money out. It's just to be able to say we're not dumb and throwing money away on this crazy app. It's pretty fantastic, and all the FUD that we had to fight through on Spaces with people coming up to troll and all that. I'm sure they'll find new FUD, but at least the old FUD is gone. So I gotta congratulate. Yeah, exactly. I gotta congratulate you guys on that. My question, it just switched now that David Yu's up here, but hey, David, we just talked to your friend Amar not too long ago, and yeah, he got me going thinking about the VeVeverse, and I hadn't thought about that in a while. So I just want to know if you can tell us just a little bit about it, anything you can tell us, because yeah, we're excited.
Yeah. Well, no. Yeah, I couldn't tell too much about the VeVeverse. I'll leave that with Dan sometime. We are going to try to put something together. I mean, one of the things that we're just being a little bit more responsible what we put out, simply because we just don't want to feel we have let our audience, our fans down, not meeting the deadlines and etc. But we will be coming out with segments after all this next couple quarters out of the way, and start announcing the VeVe side of things.
I'll accept it for now. I thought Reese was gonna. I thought Reese was gonna stop you from spilling any beans, but David is becoming way better at this than I thought.
No, I got both Dan and Alex sitting.
I was
right
gonna
next
say,
right next to me.
They've instilled the fear.
Yeah. So I'll ask another question where I think you can answer. Then I'm sorry, Reese. Then I'll get down so anyone else, other people can ask. Okay. A lot of us were expecting to see DC at Comic-Con, and we read that they pulled out. Does that affect us getting AF-15 in August, or are we still okay for that?
Which one's this?
DC Comics. Where did you read that they pulled out? That's news to me.
Oh yeah, there was an article we had in Spaces yesterday, unless it's wrong. But let's stick to the point. Will we still be getting Amazing Fantasy 15?
Oh, that's Marvel comic. Yeah, I mean, possible. Yeah.
Good answer.
I'll accept. I'll accept that one, David. we have this thing. We have this thing on Spaces, and we call it. And I'm just gonna do this for the crowd who knows. We call it Speculation Nation, where we come up with crazy VeVe ideas, and that one has been on everyone's mind for quite a while. So thank you for letting us know that maybe we'll get it.
Yeah, well, it is a holy grail of comics, so we do want to make sure we publish it Amazing 15 on the right appropriate time. It is on our list, so
okay,
we're just working it out when we should do it.
Yeah, August is pretty good, so okay, we'll revisit it. But thank you very much, David. Yeah, thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, fella. Enjoy it. VVGTV, how are you, mate?
Yo, I'm great. That was hilarious. I actually just had a question. I'm excited about the VeVe verse, about the MCP points. When you merge your account, if you have like two accounts, I assume that the points will also be merged together.
I would assume so. Yeah, let me get some clarification on how that's all going to take place before we go throwing speculation out around that. But yes, if that's the way that we proceed and you amalgamate your accounts, then presumably that would take place as well.
Hell yeah! Thank you for all you guys have been doing. You're dope.
No problem at all. Have a fantastic day. Sarah J. Adams.
Hello. How are you?
Fantastic. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Now, would you rather... No, I'm just joking. I've got a serious question. I have a question on KYC. I was a little bit late on joining today, so sorry if I've missed it. So I've got a couple of accounts that I use to store collectibles away for my niece and nephew, and obviously they're pretty young, and I won't hand over to them until they're old enough to access it. So in regards to KYC, obviously, I guess that'll have to be done. Am I best to change it to my details and do it that way, or would I just leave it?
So we're still nutting out some of the details, but it looks like we're kind of working on two solutions at the moment. So one will let you effectively combine accounts under one identity if you have multiple accounts. The other one, if people have their kids that are using VeVe or things like that, I think we'll go down the path of some sort of parental consent. Now, obviously, that kind of has to be established and built in a way that is verifiable and legitimate. But I think there'll be an option there too. So for now, I would say do nothing, and we'll release a few more details when that comes to light.
Amazing. Perfect. Thank you so much. And thanks, guys. Cheers.
No problem. Have a great day. I'll bring up a few more people from the fam, guys, and then we'll probably wrap it up for the day, I think. Okay. Just while these guys are connecting, Rajiv, I think you might be the first one on, if you can hear me.
Thanks for bringing me up. Look, can you hear me?
Still connecting there.
Yeah, we can hear Rajiv. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't hear him. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, okay, cool. Thanks for bringing me up, guys, and congratulations again. Sounds like like a new era in VeVe, even though everyone knows this has been coming.
Yep.
My question was actually, I have a lot of friends and family, around the world in Asia and stuff, and and I think like for a lot of them to get in, I just wanted to ask about the current criteria for cash out, which is 1,000 gems. And so for some people, I know that might be a lot.
You just want the numbers? You mean?
No.
Or you're asking about this?
No, I'm just saying it's 1,000 gems, right? So I'm just saying, is this something that's going to be in place for the foreseeable future, or are there any plans of lowering that limit to be eligible for cash out at some point in time?
Yes, I think we will. We'll work to bring down the cash out fee and probably the minimums required for it. But as a brand new implementation and a way to balance that. Yeah, David, did you want to speak to it?
Yeah. So thanks for bringing that question up. We are going to be lowering eventually the Yeah, my mic's on. Yeah, can
Yeah,
you
we've
hear
got you
me,
there. We
Reese?
can hear you.
Oh, yeah,
Yep,
cool.
yep, we've got you. Yep.
Yeah, so eventually we will be lowering the tier, but first is that we want to make sure everyone's KYC smoothly and the payout system's not being overloaded, etc. So that tier will eventually move down to the lower gem holders. But also do keep in mind, we are going to start to look at moving away from allowing users to buy the gems. So you will only able to top up gems at the checkout when you need to pay the balance of difference. So coming up, gems probably going to be quite hard to get hold of if you were just wanting to hold some. The idea is that we want to, only how shall I say, only for you to able to top up gems when you're required to pay the balance difference. So that's our next major implementation going through.
Okay.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you guys so much.
No problem. Have a great day. Really appreciate it.
You too.
All right. I thought we had a few more on stage. Skeet, you got any questions coming in there?
Yeah, I had one come back through in relation to the payout situation with crypto. Is that going to be available for everyone via crypto?
Yep. Anything that the payout provider has available will be available to all users, provided they have KYC'd, but you have to do that before you can process any sort of payout. Anyway.
Sorted. That covers that one.
Yeah.
I think that's it for now. So you see Wendy's there.
Yes. Is Wendy on stage? I can't.
I am here.
You are here. Oh, I can't see you on my end for some reason. Oh, there we go. How are you, Wendy? How was your day?
I'm doing great. How are you, Riz?
Fantastic.
Well, I have a question more for the Spanish speakers, especially for this article that you have penned. So is it possible to make like an article for Spanish speakers? Because it's very important, like the data, and they don't feel lost. So that's my concern.
Completely agree. And yes, I think it is possible. Noah, you are still behind the handle there. Do you want to just maybe we can make Wendy, if you're free later and feel like translating, we can make that happen.
Are you gonna send me colectivos?
Ask David for that one.
I'm kidding.
Yeah.
Yes, I can help.
Yeah, perfect. I think we might, if Jean's around from the community as well. Absolutely. Yeah, I couldn't agree more that it's crucial to make sure that this information is available and understood in as many languages as possible. So we'll definitely work on that. Any of our community mods from the language groups too, if you guys would like to start working on something similar, feel free. It's only going to benefit all of the languages in our community. So yeah, thanks for that, Wendy. Superstar Money. How are we, friends?
How's it going, superstars? I just wanted again to repeat what everybody's saying. Just want to congratulate the team on getting to this point with the KYC, with the cash out. Definitely helps to help us promote to our friends and family, like people have said already. So really, it's a really big accomplishment. I think it's something that needs to be said on a large stage to say congratulations. And also, I wanted to say, like, coming up with a question to ask you guys, it's actually been pretty difficult. So I want to make a point that the community team, Alex, Reese, you guys have been answering all types of questions and just like slaying it right now. And there's basically nothing to ask you guys. I have a couple funny ones, but other than that, I just wanted to say like congratulations. And I guess I'll go with my first quick question is the Raptor going to get sound?
Alex, I can see you're on stage. Do you have any Raptor updates?
Not for Superstar Money, no.
Oh, unlucky.
I don't know. That's a Dan question. So
okay,
he's not taking any questions right now.
He's currently occupied. Okay, we'll update you if we get info on that.
Okay, and the next quick one, and then I'll step down, is just I remember on a previous AMA, you guys mentioned that there may be a new medium coming. So I know we have collectibles, we have comics. Is that still in the plans? Is it going to happen this year, or is it something further down the line?
Yeah, we do have a new product vertical coming out, and we'll be announcing that in the coming weeks, which is pretty much centric around the web app. So yeah, please do just give us a week or two to get this together, and then when we're ready, we'll be announcing the new vertical.
Cool. All right. Congratulations again, guys, and I'll be listening.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Okay, guys, we'll round this out. It's X Village. You have the stage, and then we might throw to Claire.
How's it going, guys?
Very well. How are you?
Hey, congratulations on this Oracle's day. It's a big step that was needed for the community, and I think it's going to be a positive sentiment going on. But my question is, with the ramp up in marketing as far as AMC and this Cinemark, I'm curious to know if we can, the information from the QR code at the Star Wars event, how many users that was brought in and whatnot.
Alex, do you know, or David, anyone have more specifics on that?
I definitely have that number, but it's good. We had quite a huge amount of not just download, the actual sign up. It's definitely in the thousands. I can't give what number, just because we do have our NDA signed with our partnership with our licensor, but it definitely was worthwhile. It's in multiple thousands actual download and activated account. So they not just download, they actual sign ups.
That's awesome to hear. And will we see a ramp up in marketing going forward now that NFTs is almost available to all users?
That was a little hard to hear, but I think you said, will we see a ramp up in marketing now that cash out and those features are available? Alex, that might be a you question.
Yeah, I think generally we want to look forward to, quote unquote, ramping up as we ship these big ticket items and get a better sense of, the data and who we're speaking to, but also focusing with these events that we're going to be attending this year in bringing new people on board. So whether that's, at Comic-Cons, D-Cons, etc., with these promo codes, we're always going to be doing something to get new eyeballs onto the platform.
Okay, thank you for the answer. Appreciate it.
No problem. Thank you very much. Okay, Claire, you have the stage, and then we'll throw True Tech Junkie, and we'll wrap it up.
Can you hear me?
We've got you.
Brilliant. Okay. So first of all, I just want to repeat what everybody else has said, really. I'm just so pleased to see that, MTL is here, and, I have lived for the day on Discord to not have to answer when MTL. So congratulations on that. But it's just a plug, really, for any new members. There is a VeVe channel dedicated to women in the Discord, and with the Pride celebrating diversity. If any new women are in the community that want to just pop in and say hello, don't feel daunted, just find the women channel, and we're a friendly bunch there. We will definitely welcome you with open arms and happy to answer any questions that you may have, because we're all quite sort of been around the community quite a bit, so hopefully we'd be able to help you. And I suppose it's once MTL comes, I've got to ask, when MCP? I can see Dan lurking before he runs off.
Turns out he's gone to the pub.
But no, it's just exciting that, you can carry on doing other things, and that the app will be able to progress, and that everything you wanted to do months ago, you'll be able to now put back on the agenda. So I just want it to be priority of Q3, please. That's all.
I think that it is, but maybe we'll wait for the next Founders video to get the update on the next priorities once all this is behind us. But a great reminder. Thanks, Claire, for bringing that up. Anyone who is new to the fam or has been around for a while and maybe hasn't seen the Women of VeVe channel, it's a very safe space, very appropriate reminder ahead of tomorrow's drop as well, and really just such a great offering for the community by the community. It's a really good thing to be able to present to people. So thank you for all the work you do there, Claire, as well, and to all of our other mods. Okay, last but not least for the day, True Tech Junkie, how are you? You have the floor.
I'm doing well, Reese. Much appreciated. Shout out to the team, everybody on the panel. Just want to, stack on what everybody else said. Congratulations on the continued success, and I wish you guys nothing but future success. I come from more of a creative aspect when it comes to the app. And I, for one, I know with other creatives on the app, we really appreciate what you guys have done, and we look forward to see what you guys are doing in the future. 1 second.
We really appreciate that, mate. Thank you.
Absolutely. So my question, it's a two-parter. Have you guys made any progress on the web showroom platform? And where does it fall in your tier of, I know MCP is the more important thing on the list right now, but just, trying to get a gauge of where that's at right now.
You mean specifically the showrooms in the web platform?
Correct.
Alex, do we have an update on that? I think they're live again now, are they not?
Yeah, they're live again. There's updates going out regularly to kind of hone in and streamline, optimize the experience. I don't have any other updates beyond that in terms of building or sharing, but it's a state of constant improvement.
Roger that. Much appreciated. And on a lighter note, just curious, does anybody on the team work in their showrooms, and can we ever see it?
I personally need to work on my showrooms, but I'm definitely not at this stage of creativity of the vault builders, that's for sure.
Yeah. I am no vaultaholic, that is for sure. I have one scene, maybe I'll share it on my Twitter, but it's not near the level of a True Tech or a Tails or whatnot.
Hey, I'm sure the community would love to see it. Well, I appreciate the time. I hope all the community important questions have been answered. I really don't want to waste an opportunity. But again, shout out to the team, shout out to the community, and y'all keep it pushing.
Thank you, mate. We really appreciate it. And thanks, everybody, for joining us today. Just to wrap up a few of those key points, we do have the drop from Givenchy and Rewind Collective tomorrow at midday PC. That drop article is now out on the blog. So check that out if you haven't yet. The web platform is in public beta, emphasis on beta. So please keep that in mind as you're using it. There are updates rolling out to it all of the time. And again, if you have any issues logging in, try logging out on your phone first and try that. If that doesn't work, reset your password on your mobile and then log in on web. But hopefully that advice from Miss Gecko is the solution that is needed. KYC is live. People can partake in that now if they see the prompt in their app, and obviously Payout is progressively rolling out as well with the aim to have everybody KYC'd with access to that by mid-July. So that is all taking place as well. One last thing I will mention for everybody who's still around and may not have seen it, I did just pin a link to the top of this. The guys over at Frank and Fat Productions have built a play-to-burn game that burns OMI tokens using the advertising revenue. It is called the VeVe Team Arcade Dodge game. Currently live on iOS, soon to be live on Android. But if you haven't checked it out yet and you would like to shoot the team's faces with OMI tokens, feel free. Alex, anything else there to wrap up before we say goodbye for today?
No, I'm not really even sure why I came up other than to say I'm really proud of you. Really proud of you for holding down the fort today. Sorry to leave you hanging, flying solo. I know we usually try to tag team these things, but duty calls.
Yeah, that's fine, mate.
This, being this is a historic Twitter space and a historic moment for the company, as somebody said earlier. I'm really just excited to kind of, continue to get this out to as many users as possible. And shout out to the folks who have already tried it. I'll look forward to, engaging with everybody on Twitter just to see if, there are any issues, but just keep in mind that we are releasing this stuff in batches. So I believe the next round of KYC went out, and then we'll continue to see steady progress on the rollout of both the payout function and KYC.
Fantastic. Thank you, brother. And Mr. Yu, while we still have you here, anything you'd like to say before we sign off for the day?
No, just thanks everyone for your support and believe in us. And yeah, just, have fun collecting and building showrooms, as we always say. And looking forward to meet some of you at San Diego.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. Thank you, everybody, for being here and all your support along the way. Apologies to any questions we did not get to, but we will try to cover them. Hopefully we cover them, most of them in what we spoke about anyway. And as always, during the next AMAs, we do have the voice chat channel in Discord that we monitor as well. So if you're not making it on stage, you can try to drop a question in there and we'll try to cover that. Otherwise, this recording will become available straight after this, and I'm assuming we'll do a recap as well that will go out on the blog or on VeVe Twitter, so keep an eye out for that if you missed it. But from all of us, massive thank you, fam. I hope you enjoy the rest of your week, and we'll chat next time. See you guys.
Cheers. Appreciate it.